Hey guys, you know, when I was in school, they never read to us the entire Declaration of Independence. Because I attended a government-run, godless, liberal, indoctrinating school system. And now that if you really take the time to read the Declaration of Independence, it's a very God this, God that. It talks about God a lot. This is from the United States National Archives and Records Administration. You go to archives.gov. Listen to some of the words of the Declaration of Independence. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God. Notice, nature isn't a God, nature has a God. So for those folks that worship nature, the founders would disagree with you there. Which the laws of nature and of nature's God, because I notice there's a lot of people that worship nature and think it's spiritual. Well, here, clearly the founders believe that God created nature. Let's continue. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their monkey, ape ancestors. No. The founders didn't believe in evolution. That they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. Also, the founders didn't believe in abortion, because look, that among these are life. That's where the right to life crowd gets there, and I am part of the right to life crowd. Let's continue. More God talk and divine providence. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America and General Congress, assembled, appealing to the supreme judge of the world. As I pat my finger to my chin, who could that be? Could it be God? Of course. And for the support, now listen to the ending of the Declaration of Independence here, and for the support of this declaration with the firm reliance on the protection of divine providence. If you go to Webster's dictionary and you look up divine providence, it says what the definition is, and yes, you guessed it, it has to do with God. God having a plan. So I think that all the schools should be required to read the Declaration of Independence in its entirety and then have the class talk about it. What do you think? I would love to see some of the liberal teachers. I know not all teachers are evil liberals, but I would love to see some of the liberal teachers squirm in their seats when little Johnny says, "What's this divine providence, teach?" And when little Mary says, "What's this, the laws of nature and nature's God?" Who are they talking about, teach? You cannot be an American, you can't, and not read the Declaration of Independence and not admit that they were very religious. That's right. Religious people. Do you know that Patrick Henry, who, if it wasn't for Patrick Henry, who knows if America would exist, because he was the one that stood up and said, "Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death." And he motivated the men of that time that were debating whether or not to go to war. Yes, even back then we had some spaghetti-spined people that were afraid of war. And he motivated them and said, "As for me, give me liberty or give me death." And that Patrick Henry said, and I quote, "It can never be emphasized too often or too strongly that this nation was founded not on religion, but on the gospel of Jesus Christ, not by religionists, but by Christians. And it is for this reason that other people of other faiths are afforded asylum to come worship here." Close quote. Patrick Henry trumps all the founders. So if you're a child and you're in the government-run public liberal indoctrinating school system, in your history class, why don't you bring that up to them? Say, hey, teach. Very respectful. Why don't we have it where we study the Declaration of Independence? I mean, that's pretty important, a founding document. And watch the teacher's eyes bulge out in terror if they're a liberal. I don't know how the teacher is going to get around talking about God when it says it right there in the Declaration of Independence. Divine providence, the laws of nature, and nature's God, the supreme judge of the world. Now, I find it very surprising that Obama would mock people that say phrases like our founders had said. You guys know Obama mocked people of religion. He said people cling to their religion. Well, Obama doesn't want you to cling to religion. He wants to cling to government. He don't want you to cling to your God. He wants you to cling to the precious modern-day slavery called government. And you know that's what it is. The welfare state, the socialist. Like, I'm here in California, I see slavery every day. I see the slavery when I see women and kids going to WIC over here, getting their government food. I'm not kidding you guys. I'm right next to a WIC office. Now, WIC is a program that parts of it are good, okay? Unfortunately, though, is they're dipping into our back pockets, and we don't have a choice, and then they're paying for someone else's family. And I've seen it. I've seen the people... Hold on a second. It looks like I got a shift. No, I'm okay. I've seen the people going into WIC, and the boyfriend stays outside because you have to be like a single mom in order to get this government food that I'm paying for out of my pocket, right? So the boyfriend, who's like a cholo gang member, you know, he's got all the tattoos and everything, and he's a cholo. Well, he's this gang member, and he stays on the outside of the building, and I see him out there shifty-eyed walking around, while his girlfriend, who he knocked up, and has one baby in tow with her right hand holding the baby's hand. It's not the child's fault. And I see her go in there, and then they come out, and they got these pieces of paper, and they go to this other building, and there's all kinds of food, and they stock up, and then they leave in their Lincoln Navigator. That's not right. Especially here in California, we got a major problem with people coming over the border from Mexico, and they're getting on this government. The government over here in California, let me tell you what it reminds me of. If you ever go to a farm and you see those big hogs, and the hog's like a mother hog, and it's got like all these teeth, and all the little piggies are sucking off of all the teeth. And that's what California is, except the hog looks like a prune because it's been sucked off so many times, and it's got nothing more to give. Now, I kid you not, I got less than a minute to go. Where I work, hey look, where I work, across the way is a WIC building. And they were having a party at the WIC building with music and everything. And yet the government, the state government here in California, is billions with the B in debt. And yet they're having a party. What's wrong with that?